Greetings, literature lovers. Let's continue. We're talking about new criticism. For Wimsatt and Bradley, the words on the page were all that mattered. Imported for the meaning from outside the text was considered irrelevant and potentially distracting. Now, talking about affective fallacy, this was another essay which served as a kind of sister essay to the intentional fallacy. Wimsatt and Bradley also discounted the reader's personal emotional reaction to the literary work as a valid means of analyzing a text. This fallacy would later be repudiated by theorists from the reader response school of literary theory. The popularity of new criticism persists to the Cold War years in both American high schools and colleges in part because it offered a relatively straightforward, potentially uncontroversial approach to teaching students how to read and understand poetry and fiction. To this end, Clint Brooks and Robert Penn Warren published Understanding Poetry and Understanding Fiction, which both became standard pedagogical textbooks in high schools and colleges during 1950s, 60s, and 70s. Studying a passage of prose or poetry in new critical style required careful, exacting scrutiny of the passage itself. Formal elements such as rhyme, meter, setting, characterization, and plot were used to identify the theme of the text. In adding to the theme, new critics also looked for paradox, ambiguity, irony, and tension to help establish the single best, most unified interpretation of the text. Such an approach has been criticized as constituting a conservative approach to isolate the text and to shield it from external political concerns such as those of race, class, and gender. One of the most common grievances against the new criticism is an objection to the idea of the text as autonomous. Detractors react against a perceived anti-historicism, accusing new critics of divorcing literature from its place in history. Another objection comes from the reader response school of theory, rightly claiming that the fundamental close reading technique is based on the assumption that the subject and the subject of study, the reader and the text, are stable and independent forms rather than products of unconscious process of signification. According to I.A. Richards, who was an English literary critic, his books, especially Principles of Literary Criticism and Practical Criticism, provoked to be founding influences for the new criticism. The concept of practical criticism led in time to the practices of close reading, which is often thought of as the beginning of modern literary criticism. Richard is regularly considered one of the founders of the contemporary study of literature in English. In practical criticism, he advocated an empirical study of literary response. We'll continue tomorrow. Thanks.